If I can just go on to the tender process, this OGC mandatory process, which is the same for all tenders, although as we go through, sometimes they match two of the stages together if they've run out of time, which we often see. So how do we get from tender notification to contract award? The first stage is to do an expression of interest. So you see the contract notification on the website, you have a look through and you think, gosh, we're in the right area, that's the right size, but I have a few questions. Can I go for this? Could this be the first one? You need to express an interest. You will have on that tender notification, and we have this as a full exercise after coffee, we have tender notifications for each of you, and we will be going through that on how to respond and how not to respond. So I'll save that till after coffee because that's quite exciting. Then if you get through that first hurdle and they think, yeah, okay, you can partake, they will send you a pre-qualification questionnaire. Again, we go through a live PQQ after coffee. That is something that very similar that you will have to go through on the PASA approval list. Very similar process about financial information to check you are who you say you are and that you have the capability to deliver. If you get through that pre-qualification stage, which is sometimes the hardest stage to get through, if they have a tender out for stationery, it's quite likely they may have 300 companies going for that tender. They want to get down to maybe 20 initially. So it's quite a rigorous process, that stage. So once you get through it, you get to the invitation to tender. And that's the big bit. I'll show you my bag. That's the meaty biggie bit where you will have to write documents like this. This is how you win it. And these are the big bits that you have to deliver and how to sell your business for what you want. And that's what the second full day is all about, how to do it through this. So that's the big, if you've got to the invitation to tender stage, you're doing well, but this is it. There's no second chances after that. Then you have your tender documentation that you must submit, and then you may or may not be required to do a formal presentation depending on the commissioner and also depending on the product or service. They're about 50-50. Following the formal presentation, they make the contract award. They may wait 2 weeks, they may wait a week, they may wait 3 months. You may know informally, but there is always that formal contract award which also goes in the OJU. So all people can see who's won it, what they've won, were there 3 people that have won it and they're sharing it. Once that formal notification has gone through the OJU, there is a mandatory 10-day standstill period. That is to allow for people to appeal or for people to receive feedback. And what I suggest is that every company gets feedback whether you've been successful or not, because it's incredibly powerful to find out how other people view your company and how other people view what you have written and presented in your tender. Because what you think is good, they may not, or what you think was lacking, they may think actually you hit just the right spot. And that learning for your next tender and your next tender is really, really important. And we tend to do it by conference call. So you just have an hour or so conference call, feedback session, 3 or 4 of you there, so you're all learning and hearing. Very powerful thing to go through.